Hey everybody, my name is Mary Copeland. I'm your instructor for this semester. Just want to welcome you to the class and introduce myself so you can see what I look like. Also, I just want to give you a brief overview of the class, show you where everything is and how to navigate it. So I also want to show you the textbooks. We are using Reading Critically, Writing Well. And we are also using In the Country We Love. That on camera somehow. There we go. In the Country We Love. And those books are free to you. So you need to go through the Books Plus program to get your free textbooks. If you have any trouble with that, you should have a Canvas notification about how to get your books. But if you have trouble with that, just let me know. Send me an email. Okay, so the other thing now, I'm just going to show you the class and we'll go through some stuff here. So I'm going to share my screen. So this is what you will see when you first log into the class. This is the home page. It will change from week to week. I will always have a link to the announcement for the week. Every week I will make an announcement. I have links to the student office hours. So, but that will change with new announcements and new information. However, the main thing to know for this class is that everything is done in the modules. All of your work, all of your assignments, quizzes, discussions, everything is done in the modules. So that's where we're going to go. I'm going to click on that. And I have some resources here, some student resources. You can click on those. I have links to the Writing Center, links to tutoring, links to counseling, other links like that. I have our reading schedule in the resources section. Let me click on that. So each week it says what pages you should read of which book, and there will be additional readings as well. But you can use this to go through and the reading schedule so you know where to keep up. We don't begin reading the text or the book In the Country We Love. I think it's week 7. So you have till then. But since the books are free, it's a good idea to go ahead and get them. Then I have a bunch of MLA information. This is something we'll be working with throughout the semester and putting your paper in MLA format. So we'll talk more about that later, but that's a bunch of resources there for you. So for the first week, I have orientation, getting off to a great start, this video, and then also the assignments. You really need to go through each of these. And then you have an introduction to write this week, and you have a discussion, and then you have a quiz on the syllabus. It is not timed, so you can take it, take as long as you like to take the quiz. But I find that it's helpful and it gets students to actually become very familiar with some of the course policies. But I'm going to show you where the syllabus is. So I do have the syllabus right here. So if you click on syllabus, I do have a downloadable version of it, so you can click on that. And then I just talk about communication. If you email me, I usually respond within 24 hours. But you know, if it's a weekend, might be shorter than that, or I'm sorry, it might be longer than that if it's a weekend. I also want to mention that when you submit assignments, you know, if you're familiar with Canvas, and even if you're not, there's a little comment section in there. And students will often make a comment in there like, oh, you know, here's my assignment or something like that. That's great. I make comments there too. However, if you have a question for me, like you want to know something, don't put the question in the comments. You need to email me with your questions. Let's see. Oh, and so then down here is just links to different details. I have you know, a link to student learning outcomes, what our required textbooks are. I list them with the ISBN numbers. How much time will this class take? That's an important one. So I'm just going to talk about that for a minute. This is a 4-unit class. And what that means is that you would spend the same amount of time in this class online as you would if you were on campus. So a 4-unit class means about 4 hours of class time. So that could be anything from, you know, reading announcements, you know, preparing a discussion. And then you also have 8 hours a week of outside of class time, just as you would if you came to class. Then when you left class, you would go home and maybe do some reading or write an essay or something like that. So it averages out to about 12 hours a week. And sometimes it's more, sometimes it's less. And, you know, that depends on the student as well, and, you know, your reading habits and that sort of thing. But it's a really good standard to go by as far as time management and how much time you think you'll need to be successful in the class. So there's other policies down here. I'm not going to go through them all, but I think it's important for you to go through them. You want to be sure you know them. You know what to do in case you're having some technological issues. What's the participation attendance policy of the class? What is the grading? What are the discussion guidelines? All of those things are important for you to read so that you're aware of them, and you'll read them anyway because those questions are on the quiz as well. So let me go back to the modules really quick here. Student resources is good for you to have. It gives other resources as well as I have them up here, but certainly, you know, if you want to contact the help desk, you can go that way. Of course, your announcements, the first week's announcement is here. The grades are here. And Office 365 is here. If you haven't gotten Office 365, you will want to get Office 365. Your essays need to be turned in Microsoft Word, not a Google Doc or not any other type of format. So, and you are eligible for Office 365 for free if you don't have it already with the school. So you want to be sure and get that. The other thing I'm going to show you real quick is the home page again, because I want to point something out here. So the home page always has this area, which is great. It says, hey, this is what you've got coming up. This is what's due, you know, so be sure and get this done, because I do have the due dates on assignments. But that doesn't always tell the whole picture. So you really want to go to the modules and read through the modules. And what I mean by that is, like, if you'll notice this discussion right here, it says habits and it's due January 23rd. But Canvas only allows us instructors to put in one due date, but discussions have 2 due dates. For this class, all your discussions, when you make your first post, that's going to be due on Thursdays. And then you'll have to respond to 2 peers by Sundays, but Canvas only lets us put in the last due date. So that's something that you want to keep an eye on every week. The discussion, the initial discussion, what you have to say about it will be due on Thursday, and then the responses to your classmates will be due on Sundays. I don't think that will change. You know, if it does, I will definitely, you know, make an announcement on that. But that's important to remember, because you don't want to lose points on the discussions for forgetting or not turning it in on time or something like that. Other than that, I think that about covers everything. If you have any questions, I tried to make the class simple and easy to access. And I try to follow a pretty standard routine every week, so there's no surprises. But if you have any questions, be sure and let me know. You can come to the office hours. You can just click on the link for that. And I look forward to our semester together. See you soon.